Hello art superstars and welcome. I am so happy that you're joining me today because we are going to finish off our magnificent tote bags which we made last week. So what you will need is your bag from last week. Adults, again, I advise you put some newspaper inside, just a flat sheet or 2 sheets to stop the paint from coming through. And we're going to work on the other side today, so we're going to decorate the other side of our bag. I'm going to need some acrylic paints, same as last week. You can use poster paints if you prefer, but just remember, adults, that you won't be able to wash the bags if you use poster paints because they might come out. So I advise acrylics. If not, poster paints are fine, they will work for today. I've cut some potatoes in half. I have slightly bigger ones today that I need to use up. So if you've got some potatoes you can use that are cut in half. Optional extra is cotton buds like this. And in your art packs, you should have some super fun sponge letters like this, which we're going to do some printing with. And optional paintbrushes as well. Okay, and again, like last week, it's going to be a messy session, so I advise aprons or wearing old clothes. Put some newspaper out where you're working, or if not, put an old tablecloth out that you can dry. Just make sure your area is protected. And I'm going to move my camera down and we can make a start. There we go. So I've got my tote bag nice and flat. And I'm going to start with my letters. Now we've got a choice. If you want a challenge, you could write your name, or you could make a pattern with letters. So before we put any paint on, let's pick out some letters that we like and think about where we would put them. So it could be a pattern, they could be all over the page. See where they look good. So we could arrange them like this. They could be all over the page, or they could be close together like this in one place, or we could put our name or spell a word. My name is quite long. My name is Veronica, but people call me V. E. So I think I'm going to put a V and 2 E's onto my bag. There we go. I'm just going to move the camera down so you can see. And I'm going to think about where I'm going to put it. Should I put it in the middle? Should I put it at the bottom or the top? I think I'm going to put my name at the bottom, like this. V. And I'm going to choose some colours from my acrylic paint. I've got mustard yellow and a green and a red. Choose any colours that you like for this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint my letters. If you put yours somewhere flat, so I'm going to put mine V at the side, then I'm going to paint it right the way to the edges. If you prefer, you can dunk the letters straight in the paint. Just make sure that the paint is completely covering the letter so that we can see it. So I should have a beautiful red V. And like I say, this is very messy. So I'm just going to pick this up by the corners. There we go. So I've painted my V in red, and then I'm going to hold it with the paint down onto my bag, and I'm going to gently press down all over the V, so I get a nice print of the V, and da da da, there we go, I've got a V on my bag. And I'm going to do my E next. I'm going to adults paint on this side that doesn't have the colour on, the opposite side, so when I put it down it comes the right way out. And I'm going to get another paintbrush. I'm going to paint this one in my yellow. I'm painting onto the newspaper, I'm not putting it on my bag as I paint, because I'll get marks if I don't want on the bag, so I'm going to keep that in a separate place. There we go. Painted my E yellow, put it down and gently give it a press right to all of the corners, to the edges. And 3, 2, 1. Ooh, and that's come out quite lightly actually, so I might put a little bit more yellow on. I might need a bit more paint. So let's put some more on. And just very carefully put it back down over the top. Or you can paint over the top. Again, if you prefer, that's absolutely fine. Or use your finger. There we go. Really press it down. 3, 2, 1. Go, that's clear of the E. And I'm going to do this one in my green, I think. Or shall I do 2 yellows? Yeah, I'm going to do this in my green. So I'm just going to paint, again, paint the back of my letter. My letter E, going right to the edges. We might get quite messy hands doing this when we print it, because we have to hold the letter by the edges and the paint comes to the edges, so just yeah, give them a good wash afterwards, have lots of newspaper down. Here we go, just holding it by the edge. And I've got a lovely dark green over my E, and I'm gonna gently put it down, give it a press right to the edges. Just take my time doing that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lift. Ooh, beautiful. So I'm going to hold that up to show you. So, V. And I'm V. And this is my bag. Now, you might just put your name on there. You might fill up your bag with letters. One other thing you can do is to decorate the rest of your bag with potato and cotton buds, and that's what I'm going to do now. So you can dump your potato straight in the paint, so I'm just going to paint the flat side of my potato. So it's covered in yellow paint, and I'm going to gently press it down and lift. There we go. And I think I'm going to do a red potato as well. So I'm getting another potato, another half of a potato. I'm going to paint it red. I absolutely love this red colour. And I'm going to paint it to the edges, making sure there's plenty of paint on there. And I am going to put that down, give it a press, and gently lift. And I think I'm going to do one more, and I'm going to do it in yellow. So you're welcome to do as I'm doing now, or you can make your own patterns, cover the page in the potato prints. There we go. I'm going to hold it down, give it a gentle press, 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 press. 3, 2, 1, and lift. There we go. So I've got 1, 2, 3. 3 circles. Now, again, this is optional. If you've got some cotton buds, we can add some more pattern on. So I'm going to make my circles into little flowers. So I've just dipped one side of my cotton bud in the red paint, and I'm going to go dab, 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 dab around my yellow circle to make a little flower. There we go. Oh, I've had an idea. I'm going to dip another cotton bud in the yellow paint and put it around my yellow circle to make a little sun. There we go. And my one red circle in the middle, I think I'm going to use some green around the outside. And there are lots and lots of things you could do with this. You could cover your page in your bag in letters to make a pattern. You could cover your bag in potato prints, or you could make lots of little flowers and suns like this and cover your bag with them. There we go. V. And this is my bag. I'm very happy with this. And just to say, adults, just with if you've used acrylic paints and you want to keep reusing the bags, I advise that when they're dry, so maybe tomorrow, give them quite a few hours to dry, you give them an iron. So put a piece of greaseproof paper or newspaper over the top, and iron over the top with a hot iron on both sides, and this will set the paint into the fibres of the cotton, of the fabric, and then you can wash it again and again and reuse it. And I really hope you've enjoyed these sessions. Thank you so much for joining me, and hopefully see you all soon. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.